Hi guys, welcome to Craft a Happy Home. Happy holidays. It's only like a week until Christmas. Crazy. Today I thought I would do a very simple craft with you. This is a cute little present topper made with just ribbons, jingle bells, and Scrabble tiles. Super cute. You can either use it as a present topper or you can use it as a tree ornament. I quickly made a bunch up for all of my kids, and I'm going to be putting them on their presents this year. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, let's start by talking a little bit about the supplies you're going to need. First, you want to raid your ribbon. You need, for the base of the Scrabble tile topper, a 1.5 inch ribbon. I found that wired works best and holds its shape better. I'm using a pretty gingham print that I found in the Christmas section of Hobby Lobby, but any ribbon that you would like that will match your wrapping paper would be great. Then for an accent ribbon, you want about a 1/2 inch ribbon. This has a little bit of gold on it, so it looks pretty and provides a little bit of contrast. Again, anything you have on hand. And then this is some gold cording for the hanger. It's 3/16 inch. And then you need 1/8 inch ribbon to string the jingle bells together and tie a little bow. You're also going to need some small jingle bells. I got an assortment from Oriental Trading Company. I'd say these are probably 1/2 inch maybe. You're going to need Scrabble tiles. If you don't have an old game that's missing pieces or can't find any at your local Goodwill, you can get packs of these on Amazon, and I will link down in the description box below to where you can get those. I bought a pack of 100 and it did 6 of my present toppers. You're going to also need a glue gun, a ruler, some scissors, and something to protect your workspace. I am just using a piece of parchment paper because the glue gun won't stick to it. Okay, let's get started. So I was going to do the Jingle Bell Bow first. So I'm going to pull out 2 jingle bells. And then I'm going to use a piece of 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch ribbon. About 9 inches is good. You don't really have to measure it. You can just eyeball it. You just want enough to be able to tie a bow. Go ahead and put the jingle bells onto the ribbon. Just like so. And then you want to tie it in a knot, pulling it tight. And I just tie a couple of knots to make sure it doesn't come off. And then tie a little bow at the top. Just like that, and you can set that aside and we will trim the ends later after we put it on the tag or the gift topper. Next, you want to pull out the 1.5 inch ribbon and we're going to fishtail the ends. Now, to get a nice looking one, you want to fold that in half with the ends touching. And then you want to cut from the open edge to the folded edge. And then when you open that fold back up, you'll have a nice fishtail there. Now go ahead and lay that down, and we're going to kind of estimate how much we're going to need. So pull out the letters for your name. I'm doing my daughter's name here. So I'm just going to lay those tiles out with maybe a 1/4 inch in between. It doesn't really matter at this point about the spacing. We're just kind of estimating. I'm not even spelling her name correctly here. So I need about there. And then I'm going to measure from this point up 3 additional inches. And then I'm going to cut. And then you're done with this ribbon and you can put it aside. Okay, the next step is to run our 1/2 inch accent ribbon down the main ribbon. And we're just going to hot glue that in place. If you want, you can do a couple of inches at a time so the glue doesn't get cold and hardened before you've gone the whole length. And you don't need to worry about the unfinished end here. That's going to go underneath the first Scrabble tile. So just finish hot gluing that ribbon down and press it in place. Careful not to burn your fingers. I always seem to burn my fingers whenever I use hot glue somehow. And do that all the way to the end. And then you can just take scissors and cut off the extra. Next, we want to hot glue our Scrabble tiles down. So you want to start with the last letter in the name and just add a generous coating of hot glue to the back and press that in place over the end of the accent ribbon. Proceed to your next letter, and I leave about a 1/4 inch in between each letter. And you can go ahead and do that for all the remaining letters in the name. Fortunately, this name is fairly short. And this is the last letter. Okay, now we are going to finish the end here. So what you want to do is turn over maybe a 1/2 inch, fold it back, and then flip it over, and we're just going to hot glue that in place so that we don't have an unfinished end when our topper is complete. So I'm just folding that down. And then turn that back to the right side, and we're going to figure out where we need to make the fold for the hanger. So pull that little jingle bell set back out, and you're just gonna eyeball it and put it in place. And then, so maybe a 1/2 inch above the jingle bell is where we're going to want to make our fold. So fold that, and it'll stay in place because this is wired ribbon. And then flip it over to the other side. Okay, for the hanger, you're going to need that cording. You're going to need about 4 inches. So measure that and cut it. And you can open this up a little bit so you can still see where the crease is, and put some hot glue on the inside of that crease. So press one end of that cord into the hot glue, run the cord behind, and then press the other end in to the remaining hot glue. Looks kind of a mess now, but we're going to fold that over and hot glue everything in place, and it'll all be covered. So I like to run another layer of the hot glue over that cording just because you don't want it to pull apart, and then go ahead and add hot glue to this entire section. And then press it over. And then you're going to want to let that cool a little bit before we go on to the next step. Okay, the last step is going to be gluing the jingle bells in place. So you want to do that about halfway in between the last Scrabble tile and your hanger. Just press those jingle bells into place. And then you can trim up the ends of the ribbon to whatever length you'd like. And that's all there is to it. In just a couple of minutes, you have a cute present topper that can double as a Christmas ornament. To quickly add this to your present, just run some ribbon through the loop here and then tie it onto your present. And you can always put a bow right in the center of the loop to disguise it. So I hope you've enjoyed this easy Christmas craft. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more simple crafts like this one, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas.